What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Tim, back with another video. Let's get right to it, folks. Got a little story time for you. So it's the time of year where I start looking for a summer seasonal job. I decided this year I'm going to work the summer, probably the fall too. So I was online on CoolWorks as always, putting in some applications, and I've learned over the years that since I'm on the internet, I've been making these videos for years and years and years. A little tactic I have is around this time of year when I'm putting in applications and things, I Google myself. Because I know a lot of employers now, before they set up an interview or they hire someone, they'll Google them. And for most people, what just pops up is your social media. And a lot of times they're trying to see if you're doing anything crazy on your Instagram or your Facebook, whatever. But when, you're an internet personality and you've got videos and live streams, hundreds of videos and live streams out there, you realize that Google will just pick any one of those at once at any given time and they'll pop up when someone Googles you. So I like to go and see what videos pop up first if you Google my name, because sometimes there'll be some videos, because I talk about a lot of topics. Sometimes it'll be something that maybe I don't want that being the first impression a potential employer gets of me. I don't want the first video being, Mr. Quit Your Job is back. You know what I mean? I don't want that. So I go Google myself. So I Googled myself and the videos were fine, but one of the top listings was for Reddit, and it was for a thread called Decoding the Gurus. And I'm like, oh, it was Decoding the Gurus / Timothy Ward. I'm like, oh, they out here calling your boy a guru. I'm like, okay, we up, we outside. I'm feeling good. No. Honestly, the person who started the thread was basically saying, who is this guy? He's got no responsibility. He's running from responsibility. No wife, no kids, no house. He doesn't work, nothing. How is he out here giving people advice? Because he's so out of touch with everybody else. And there was a lot of people. It wasn't a very long thread, but about half the people chimed in and kind of agreed with him. Though I got to give some of y'all in this community props, because some of y'all found that thread and had my back. You backed your boy up and was like, well, hey, if his advice isn't for you, don't watch. But there's a lot of people who tend to, resonate with what he talks about. So thank y'all for that. Thank y'all for that. Those of you who have my back. But one of the things that really stuck out to me is someone was like, I just consider him like a digital panhandler, an online panhandler, because he needs money. So that's why he's everyday live streams for 3 hours trying to get money. And somebody else was like, yeah, and then he yells Super Cat Squad at the top of his lungs like a maniac. He's a weirdo. First off, 3 hours is a short live stream. We'll go 6.5 hours, folks. This is the live stream king we talking about. So let's get that right. Secondly, it's Super Chat Squad, right? And thirdly, if they had said online or digital busker, they call busking is when you stand somewhere and you play the guitar or you play the piano or you do something else. And if people want to, they drop money in the hat. If they had said that, I would have took that. But I'm panhandler? I'm I don't ever ask nobody for no money. I make it a point to not sell nothing. You know what I mean? People are always like, hey, Tim, why'd you sell this? Why don't you sell that? I'm I don't really want to sell nothing because I don't want people to think it's all about the money. When I live stream, yes, there's an option. If someone wants to donate, cool. And I really appreciate that. Thank y'all. Super Chat Squad. But it's panhandler ask for money. I'm not flying a sign. You can ask the OGs who've been following the channel for years and years and years. Sorry, my eyes are watering again, folks. You can ask the people who've been following the channel for years and years and years. You might hear me be like, hey, there's a super chat option. That's about the most I'll ever say. And I don't even say that much. I'm online panhandler, And then the responsibility part was funny to me. It is, and I get this one a lot. It just seems like when I'm watching videos, and I imagine most of y'all are the same, I take what I take from the person who's giving the advice or who, is giving out the teaching, whatever. And I realize that it's obviously going to come from a place of wherever they're at, whoever they are, whatever they're like, whatever they have going on in their life. Obviously the advice is going to come from that place. It's going to be slanted that way. There's no I would be mad, or not mad, but I'd be upset if someone who wasn't in my shoes tried to pretend they were in my shoes to give me advice. I want you to give me the best advice you can from your perspective, from your point of view, because that's the one I need. I got mine, you know what I mean? But even, when it's someone who lives a totally different lifestyle than me, I just take what I take from it. It's like, okay, you may not totally understand this over here because you don't live that lifestyle, but you understand this over here. And that's how I was always like, all I can do is present this message, which I don't even know if it's like advice. It's just a message. It's just opinions. It's just my beliefs. All I can do is present it from my point of view. Like I'm not going to like pretend or lie. You mean like say I live a different, this is the lifestyle I live. This is what I talk about. Of course I'm going to talk about stuff slanted toward like my point of view. That's all I got. So like, I don't understand how people are almost like, if you don't live the life they live, you have no right to talk. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, if that was the case, none of us have any right to talk because, we all live different lifestyles, and it's fine. It's okay. None of them are right. None of them are wrong. And I have to constantly remind myself that people with a ton of responsibilities aren't crazy. Because left to my own devices, I would be like, you are crazy if you've got kids and a spouse and a house and 3 cars. I'm like, that's crazy in my mind, but it's not. It's just different choices. I've decided not to have as much responsibility because I don't like it. You're right. I don't like responsibility. So I do run from it. Yes. But it is just so funny to me. And there's a point to this. I'm not just solely, part of this is me venting. And I thought it was funny. I wanted to share it with y'all. The link to the thread, if I didn't mention it, is in the comment box, the description box, excuse me. Check it out. It's funny. Say whatever you want to say. You don't have to have my back. If you agree with some of the people who don't like me, you can thumbs their comments up too. I'm good. But the reason I want to talk about this, part of it too, is it just goes to show, I feel like, that no matter what you do in life, there are going to be people who don't like it. There are going to be people who disagree with it. There's going to be people who don't like you. There's going to be people who disagree with you. There's going to be people who think you're like just trying to get over on people. You're a scammer. Anytime money's involved, people are going to think, he's just doing it for the money, blah, 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 blah. No matter what you do. Even if you try to be the best, and I'm not saying this is me, but I'm just saying, even if you try to be the best person you can be, and you show up every day trying to help other people, and you don't charge near what you could charge, or you don't charge money at all, people are still going to talk about you. People are still not going to like you. People are still not going to get it. People are still just going to be so trapped in their own little bubble, their own little world, that they don't understand you. And that's fine. But here's the thing. A lot of times we don't do some of the things we want to do in life because we're scared that people are going to talk about us. We're scared that people aren't going to get it. We're scared that people aren't going to understand us. So we don't do it. But here's the thing. No matter what you do, they're going to do that. So you might as well do what you want to do. No matter what you do, they are going to talk about you. They're not going to get it. They're going to say you're a bad person for doing it. Some people. Now, most people, the love always outweighs the hate. If you're doing what's right, you being a good person, following your moral code, the love always outweighs the hate. But there will always be some hate. That's just part of the game. So if you're scared of the hate, don't worry about it. It's coming. You know what I mean? There's only a certain percent of hate. Here's the thing too. They'll hate on you for not doing anything. You know what I mean? If you hang back, I'm scared, I'm not going to do so and so, they're going to hate on you for that. They're going to talk about you for that. So you might as well just go for it. You might as well just go for it. Don't worry about people's opinions. You only have to worry about the opinions of the people whose opinions you care about. The few people in my life whose opinions I really care about, now if they start saying like, tell me, hey man, you getting to be a little too much about that money. You getting a little too wrapped up in yourself. Then I care. But if there's a random stranger on the internet who just doesn't agree with what I'm doing, but so many others do, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. If one person gets some benefit out of the message, then I've done my job. If one person gets some benefit out the message, I've done my job. Because the job is when I feel something on my heart to put it out there. 2 people like, yeah, that makes sense, Tim. If 100 people said that's crazy, but 2 people said that makes sense, that helped me out, I'm good. I did my job. People are going to talk no matter what. That's just what people do, But I will admit, and I did want to say this. They mentioned, they were like, yeah, he's kind of out of touch because he doesn't work a lot. He just sits back and collects money off YouTube. It's always about the money, by the way, too. 75% of the time is the money. If you could not see And I think it's for me because people see like the super chats in the live stream. If I was like a lot of other creators where you never saw them getting any money, people wouldn't be as mad, but they see it, they get mad. But people are like, oh, he just sits back, collects those donations. He's so out of touch. I want to say they are kind of right on that. This is something I've been trying to work on, is sometimes, especially like when I'm not working, if I'm just traveling, it is easy to get in my own little bubble and get out of touch. I just wanted to address that. I see it happen with other influencers, other content creators as well. I think it's something we all have to work on. It's just like, okay, we may not be going through or directly seeing in our daily life what other people are going through, but it is important that we kind of tap back in, you know, because if we're making these videos, you know, putting this message out here, you kind of want to know the message people would need to hear or maybe could benefit from. And B, you got to present it in a manner that like is resonating currently with the peoples. But if we're way out of touch, it's not going to make sense. So that I got to give them props on that. That is possible. That does happen. I've seen that from time to time in my content where I'm like, Tim, you got to bring it back. You got to bring it back. You know, this ain't the time for, and it's weird that like there's different times for different stuff. I'll make a video sometimes and I'm like, yeah, that one didn't resonate because it's not that time. In my mind, it was that time because me just sitting on the beach in Myrtle Beach, you know what I mean? But like, you gotta, yeah. So I wanted to say to whoever left that thread, you were right about that. Sometimes it is easy to get out of touch, but you know, life is all about learning. Life's all about growing. Life's all about checking yourself. But we're not gonna stop doing the 3-hour live streams, okay? We're probably gonna, y'all know me, whenever someone says my streams are too long, I go a really long time. Your boy might bust down a 6-hour one soon. You know, we're not gonna go pick up some responsibility just because strangers on the internet think it's weird that I don't have any. I think it's weird they have so much. And that's fine on both ends. And I want to know from y'all, the people who watch this video to the end, is your boy a digital panhandler? is your boy an online panhandler? A while back, someone said influencers were all like digital drug dealers. You know, do you agree with that? Like, what are your thoughts on that? And I don't say this much, so take advantage of this one. If you've got some constructive criticism, if you've got some gentle, constructive criticism for your boy, leave it in the comment box. I'm just trying to improve the channel, grow the channel, give y'all the videos and the content y'all appreciate. That means something to you. Anyway, I love y'all. Thank y'all for watching. I'll talk to y'all soon.